Today, on the Awesome News Hour, with banks failing and houses being foreclosed by the hundreds, the government calls it a recession, but many think we are living in the next Great Depression. Today, we will take a look at how this affects everyday people, people not unlike you.
Hello, I'm Flo Johnson.
And I'm Jane Austen.
And this is the Awesome News Hour. The big story today is obviously the rise in poverty and its effects on middle-class families, now living below the poverty level.
This is started by a failing of many banks to provide enough loans for businesses to operate, and this then led to the ultimate failure of many small businesses and banks alike.
We will now cut to Jamie Jordan, who is live in the field.
Thank you, Flo. Seen behind me is one of the many unfortunate cases where a house was recently destroyed on the account of its refusal of its inhabitants to move out when the house is foreclosed. The man behind me had been identified as Tommy Smith, a convict recently let out on parole, Brian Morgan, a former pastor at an evangelical church, and Jimmy Page, one of the many farmers out of work during this current recession. Would you like to give me a few words on this current economic situation?
You mean the pile of bullcrap we're dealing with?
If you'd like to call it that.
It's the government. It's what they came in here. It's all their fault. They've come in here and taken what is properly ours.
I'm sorry, he's one of those conspiracy theorists.
Come on, Jimmy. You gotta accept the land was rightfully the bank's.
No, this was our land. My family bought this land and I was raised on this land. It's all ours, and I don't understand why they are taking it away from us.
And so this pile of sticks over here is your land, Mr. Page?
No, it was Tommy's land. Mine was scrapped a while back, but still, what they're doing here isn't right.
And so there you have it. Back to you, Flo.
Well, that was certainly interesting, but this Jimmy Page is certainly not alone in his beliefs if the rallies in Oakland and on Wall Street are of any gauge.
That certainly does seem the case, and people have become quite fed up with the economic inequality in this country, and are beginning to voice it quite violently.
Let's take a look on another family whose house was recently foreclosed in a nicer suburb of Phoenix. John Harley is on the scene now. Over to you, John.
Thank you, Flo. Behind me is one of many instances of foreclosures in the city. Mr. Fisher and his family are being forced out. Mr. Fisher?
You can call me Peter.
Okay, Peter. Would you like to enlighten us on what's going on here?
Oh, sure. Me and my dad, we both lost our jobs, so we can't pay the rent anymore. That's why we're heading off to California. We heard that rate's much lower there in terms of unemployment, so hopefully we can find a job.
Well, best of luck to you, Mr. Fisher.
Well, thank you, but we gotta get going right now, or else the sheriff, he'll kick us off.
Good luck. Thank you. This is not an isolated case. This is happening all over the state. Mass exoduses of people to states like California in hopes of finding new work.
Thank you for that informative report, John. We are indeed seeing a mass exodus towards states like California in recent events.
When we return, what is the government actually doing about this crisis, and what can you do to prepare yourself for financially hard times on the approach?
Much better. Action.
Thank you for that important.
Action.
Thank you for that informative. Oh my God! I'll just keep going. You want me to just?
Oh yeah, good.
Thank
go.
you for.
You won.
Okay.
No? Okay.
On this land, and my family was raised on this land. It's all my land.
And this is not one of the this is not an isolated case.
Now, Jimmy, you gotta accept that land was the bank's.
No, I don't.
Alike.
We will now cut to Jamie Johnson, who is in the field.
So
Really, and it's Jamie Jordan.